My name is Sofia Kayinska. I'm the acting director of Lviv Convention Bureau. I'm here in Lviv now, and in June we are launching our project Industry Talks During the War. We will talk to the experts of national and international exhibition industry, what is happening now, what we will do in the future. So stay tuned and watch our videos. So hello everyone, we are continuing our industry talks during the war, and today we have a new guest, that's Lenka Zhlebkova. She's the CEO of Prague Congress Center. So hello Lenka.
Hello Sofia.
Thank you so much for meeting with us and have a chat. It's really good to have new friends here and to know that people are open to talk to us and to give some information, to get some information. So thank you for that. And also we want to thank your team for supporting Ukraine. Czech Republic was very friendly and is very friendly to all the Ukrainians that happen to be in need during this horrifying time. And together with Prague CVB, you declared your support to give the chance for Ukrainians to stay in Prague Congress Center. You also organized the Assistance Center for Ukrainian refugees. So please tell us more about this initiative.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think, in these times of war, we would all appreciate the help of any other destination. That's how I felt about it. And then that's why there was no question about if we help or not, I was always imagining myself, what would be happening to me and my family and so on. And so then really, the mayor called me that we should open the refugee center within, let's say, 1 week and a half, 1 week, actually 1 day and a half. I was shocked and was not thinking we could make it, but we finally made it in 20 hours and we opened it in 1 day. And, it felt like there was no other way to go. And when there was over 2,000 refugees standing in front of our building the next morning with snow and freezing weather, it made it even, bigger sense that we need to open the building for refugees and we need to help and, accommodate them, give them some food and give them hope for a better life. So that's how that happened. It was hectic. It was a big experience of crisis management leading, but we made it. And over actually then 6 weeks when we had the refugee center within our building, we accommodated or we registered with the crisis management team, with police and everyone, over 50,000 refugees in our building. And hopefully, this is a part of our future history, all this thing, here. So
definitely. And is
soon, hopefully.
Yeah, and is the center working in that way right now? So is it continuing, or people just left or spread in your country?
They are not anymore in our venue because we needed to continue with our business because, of course, we had a lot of international events being confirmed. So finally, actually, there was not such a huge waves anymore of refugees coming. So the city decided to move it to another place basically in the middle of April. But there is still a refugee center in Prague, and we are still accepting refugees. There is over 300,000 actually spread within the country. So it's somehow continuing, but of course it's not in such a big wave as it was at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And how did your partners react to this stage that at the beginning of at the end of February and then March? So how did they react? So the refugees were in the Congress Center.
At the beginning, we were kind of afraid that it can, damage our reputation and our image and so on, because we really had two international events that we had to finally cancel, just like a week, one week, the other one like 2 weeks prior to the event. And it was very, kind of inconvenient situation for us all, and we didn't want to do that, and it was really tough decision to actually do. We tried to avoid, make a lot of different measures how to avoid this, giving the option to the client also to move to other venue and so on. But finally both clients, they moved the event to the online world, and finally they accepted actually better than I expected, in a way that the help is needed. We need to help the refugees, and so we need to accommodate that to this situation, and that's how that finally happened. And the partners also, they were all surprised at the beginning, but they all finally accepted, even locally, and they were supportive, very supportive.
Oh, that's really nice. For 2 years, the exhibition industry has been on pause due to the coronavirus crisis, and finally, business is trying to come back. So, what is going on in Prague, in your center, and how do you recover after pandemic and after this period of refugees in Prague?
So the business is coming back, definitely. We see big increase in requests, but also we already are hosting international events, which is very positive for us. And we are also, at the moment, we are Prague and Czech Republic is hosting EU presidency. So the majority of meetings are being held in our venue, which is excellent experience and, a big piece of business for us. So all is positive. Of course, there are still many challenges that we are facing, and we will have to face in a near future, like all this inflation, the cost, increased cost for energies and labor force and so on. So there is a lot of challenges, but generally it's very positive after these 2 years.
That's really nice, because we were in IMAX at IMAX, and people want to come back to business, so that's really good. So of course, a lot of holding of the events changed. We have the new rules, new requirements to follow. Like customers change too. So how will new events look like? What organizers have to take into consideration while planning the event in your Congress Center?
I was persuaded still a couple of weeks ago that the hybrid is the only model how it will look like in the future. But I have to say that after AAPC Congress that I just attended, and hearing all the research is that being made in the last few weeks, it's showing that we will really come back to the offline meetings, which is also extremely positive. Of course, a part of the hybrid will somehow stay in the future always, but I think it's positive that the association meeting, but also what I heard there is that even the corporate meetings are going back to offline, that really people want to gather, they want to meet, they want to share knowledge, and I think that's what's coming. As far as the Congress Center, we are really having now 6 months pretty with the EU presidency. And then we are looking forward to all these international congresses that have been booked in our venue also many years back, and we had to postpone them from 2020 or 2021. So they are either happening this year, some of them, but mostly they are happening next year and 2024. So we are looking forward to welcome all these congresses back to Prague.
Yay. And do you have like new rules, or the rules are like in the boundaries of the restrictions, regulations of the whole industry in general?
There are no more restrictions within the destination, so they are all it's all open as it used to be. Of course, there are all these safety and security, hygienic rules that we are keeping as they were during COVID, like with all the disinfection, trying to keep wider distances and so on. But no more facial masks, no regulations basically that are imposed at the moment. Of course, we don't know exactly what's going to happen because the waves are coming of COVID again. I'm sure even now a little bit it's picking up, but it looks that COVID is turning in like kind of regular disease, that we are now aware of, and that's how we need it, as one of the diseases that we should pay attention to, but otherwise to start living our normal lives.
Yeah, that's actually true. Because some of the conferences, they want to make sure like everybody is healthy, so they just add like this component of free tests before pre-COVID tests before the event. Some of them put it like after the event, so that depends on the event, of course. But yeah, it will be like on the regular basis. We just know it.
I just wanted to add that from point of view of the venue, we are of course ready for any different client and his regulations, because we had them during all the COVID time, even the testing and so on. So we can accommodate to that very quickly. So we are flexible, but we are not having a part of the hygienic and security rules. We are not having a special regulations at the moment.
Okay, that's nice to hear. Thank you. The exhibitions are a good marketing tool for businesses, and after the pandemic, a lot of companies want something new. So they use digital equipment more often, they need unique venues. What can your center suggest?
We were pretty ready before the COVID time, so we installed like digital navigation system. We had a live TV studio during COVID time, so we are ready for any kind of different needs and missions from the client as far as digitization and and in that sense, completely digital. We have on the website also like free digital tours of new. We can also do online, basically the site visit for the client, and we are looking forward for new basically innovations as far as a kind of client portal in the future and different stuff that makes lives of us but also of the client much easier in the future.
That's really nice to hear. Like this flexibility is really important these days. So yeah, that's nice that you actually have all the measures already done. So right now, all the exhibitions and big events are impossible in Lviv, but we are still planning and thinking of the future. Unfortunately, we don't have the Congress Hall, but we still hope that we will have it. And after the victory, we will have a chance to attract some investors, engage the local authorities to build one. And Prague Congress Center is more than 40 years old. If you have a chance to build a new one, what should it have in it? Like maybe what this Congress Center doesn't have?
You have to think about the designs of the future events, to have everything you need as far as the space, but bridges and also all the new technologies, and thinking really, in the far future, because I think the of all this, even the new ones sometimes, is that they are not really looking how it will be looking like in 10, 20 years to come. Because the technology these days is changing a lot, and you need to really think how that your venue will stay here also in like 20, 30, 40 years later. So really to be futuristic in that way, that you invest from the beginning into very good infrastructure that will be used also in 20 or 30 years. And this is very important, not just looking 3 years, really 20, 30 years ahead, how it has been changed in the last 30 years, all the technologies and innovations, So like somehow to dream of what will be the event like from now on in 30 years.
Yeah, that's a really good advice actually, to look like forward like 20, 30 years, not like 10, because everything is changing. And yeah, actually your Congress Center shows that, yeah, it can change a lot like throughout the time. So it's good to know all the steps you have to take to build a good one and sustainable one, of course. You take part you take part in IMEX and other industry events. So what kind of clients most of all you find here? What kind of questions do you ask? Do they ask about the center, and what are they looking for? Because we were talking about like this looking in 20, 30 years ahead. So what are they looking for right now?
Like, of course, clients, usually it's either association or corporate clients, and then they usually assess, like they want to know something interesting about the destination, something appealing, something inspiring, and so on. So you are mainly, of course, first selling the destinations, because coming to IMEX, we are all competing as a destinations mainly on the first, first step. Of course, when it goes to the venue, they are always asking you, about the space, about the flexibility of the space, if you have a daylight or don't, how flexible it is as far as movable walls for you can put together, if you accommodate basically to the needs of the client. Then of course, asking more about all your sustainability practices, all the best practices in sustainability, what you are doing, if you are measuring the carbon footprint, and if you are taking measures to carbon neutrality and all this different stuff. This we can see now after COVID even more than before COVID, the sustainability really at the bottom line of request. Innovation, definitely they are always asking about technologies. If you have online studio, or if you have hybrid solutions, connectivities, and this is always a big part of their assessment as well.
So first you sell the destination, then you sell the venue, right?
Yes, of course. First is always the destination.
Oh, that's good that we sell and the CVB and the destination. Unfortunately, not the Congress Hall, but it's still ahead. Yeah, about ahead. Ukraine is going through hard times, and our industry tries to survive. So a lot of MICE professionals actually went abroad. A lot of them changed their professions, their positions, and they're trying to help with their knowledge like these days. But of course, they need job in the future, not just in the future, but right now as well. So what can you suggest to our MICE professionals for the next half a year?
Difficult question. Try to be in contact with all the labor force that used to work for you and was a really quality workforce if they left business, because you would need them sooner or later. Because I think this is the biggest mistake that many of the, not only venues, but let's say people in our business did. They let all the people go, and now they are really struggling to let them come back. And so the advice is try to motivate them to come back to your business, because the business will come back, and we can see the change. The increase of the business is coming faster than we could even imagine, and in that sense, you really need the labor force. And I could hear it over the AIPC Congress all the time. Labor force on the first spot of the problem now, anywhere in Europe, but all over the world, basically. So keep in mind that you would need all these people. So be in touch with them, try to motivate them to be in touch, and to think that they will, so they come back in your business when, all this business restarts in your country.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And what about actually your people who work in Prague Congress Center? So during the COVID, did you actually have to let some people go, or did you try to save their workplaces even though there was no business for some time?
Yeah, we had to save like a few positions. Of course, we need to decrease the cost, but on the other hand, we try to keep all the quality people, and we do all this, even the vaccination center and so on, just to keep jobs for our people. So we actually put them at the administration desk of the vaccination center, you know, and the other, they could switch actually from their position to do something else within the building, just that we save them in the building.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Nice position, and I think it was really good that you did it, because yes, as you said, like labor force is right now a problem all over the world, and somehow Ukrainians, like all the MICE professionals, try to work abroad as well, because we had we have the contact with our industry, and they said like who could went abroad, and of course they are helping from abroad, but still they have like this labor, they pay taxes to Ukraine, and they can continue like supporting everything that is happening in our country, like our armed forces and other people who need the support. So thank you once again for this step that Prague Congress Center took. It was really important, you know, for people to know that they have the place to stay, at least for the first period, and then for them to understand what they want to do with their life. Because sometimes even here, so I mean in Lviv, I just went to IMAX and some other places, but still like my base is in Lviv, and people are saying, what? You're there? Yes, or you're coming back, and I'm saying, yes, I'm coming back, and it's sometimes a surprise for them that people want to go back to the country where the war is actually, and the danger is every day, but still we want to promote our destination. We want to have business in the future, maybe some cooperation, so wait for us. We will come to Prague to see your Congress Center and the place where, like, you know, history was made as well. So yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for this interview. It was really important for us to hear your story during these times.
I think you are brave, you know, and all the best, and good luck, and we all hope, I think, that this, you know, finish soon.
Yeah, we also hope
so. Take care.
Thank you so much.